agenda for this session is as follows. First, we will learn what Kaizen is and why it is need of time. Then we will try to learn how to generate Kaizen ideas. Then we will see what are the scope area in manufacturing industry where we can utilize Kaizen tool. Before scope area, I will slightly brief about Triumph. After that, we will learn how to build Kaizen culture in an organization. What are the do's and don'ts for Kaizen culture build-up? Manufacturing sector related example I will share, but that I will include along with the scope area subject, and few Kaizen examples related to our daily life I will share at the end. Then we will have a half an hour session for question and answers. Let's learn few things about Kaizen. Kaizen is a tool for improvement and it helps to improve our processes and operations. It has got wide scope of application. In fact, Kaizen is not limited to work area improvement. It has application in our daily life also. I will share few daily life Kaizen example at the end of this session. It is a strong tool for improvement and it itself support the cause of doing it and also reflect the involvement and morale of the individual participants. In other words, we can say that Kaizen or continuous improvement is defined as the small gradual incremental change applied over a long period that added up to a major impact on business result. Or we can say that Kaizen is a culture of sustained continuous improvement focusing on eliminating waste in all system and business processes of an organization. The main thing one must know how smallest ideas can lead to greater result. Kaizen leads to high productivity, quality and good environment condition, low cost and on-time delivery in a product services. Let's see its literal meaning of Kaizen. It's a Japanese word made of two words, Kai and Gen. Kai means change and Gen means for good. Thus Kaizen means change for good. Kaizen is based on fundamentals of scientific analysis in which one analyzes the elements of a process or system to understand how it works, then discover how to influence or improve it for the better result. Kaizen is a building block of all the lean production methodology. Now let's see why it is needed. Today in this global business scenario, a company has to compete not only with all local manufacturers but also large multinational manufacturers. To be successful, that company has to be world class, means it has to satisfy the needs of customer in quality, performance, delivery, and it should be at lowest cost. Now we can say that we need to reduce cost of product by improving productivity. We have to improve quality, thus reducing cost of rework and scrap. We need to improve yield of raw material use and we need to improve delivery of product and thus reduce lead time. Reduction of lead time allows us to have fewer inventories and so we have to borrow less from banker, thus we have to pay less money as interest. We need to improve morale of the employees, which has major impact on absenteeism and so on the productivity. Now we need to reduce chances of accident, so there will be a less loss of man hours. But how it can be done? It can be done using latest technology or buying a new technology, or another way is using existing technology, process or system in the best possible ways. Buying a new technology is a costly affair now. It requires investment. Then second option is to use existing technology, process and system in the best way is more useful. Now how a company can use existing technology, process or system in best possible way? It can be done by implementing ideas of persons who are using the system most. And who they are? They are the operators. Now operators are not highly technical people in current Indian manufacturing industry. Especially in SMEs, they are having very low education level. So what type of ideas they will give? They will give small improvement related ideas in their work area. If they start giving ideas in SPQCD MS parameter and everybody start giving suggestion on those SPQCDM parameter, then there will be a major change. I would like to say SPQCDMS. M stands, S stands for safety, P for productivity, Q quality, C cost, D delivery, M management. Then there will be a major change visible in the organization, and that will have major positive impact on business. Toyota is an example of this movement. Therefore, Kaizen is need of time for Indian manufacturing industry. Now let's see how to generate Kaizens. First step is study the current process and operation at micro level. Operator of that process and operation can be of great help in study because he brings the practical aspect into the study. After the studying that micro level, we should identify the waste in the system. And what is the waste? Waste means operations and activities that adds cost or time but does not add value to the product. I will give details on 3M and waste while I will discuss 3M later in this session. So now go to the next process. Next is to generate ideas. Always generate ideas reverse to the waste. For example, if coolant leakage is then Kaizen idea should focus on elimination of coolant leakage. Generally, manufacturing industry apply ECRS technique for this, where E stands for eliminate, C stands for combine, R stands for reduction, and S stands for simplify. Try to think ideas for elimination of non-value added activity. If elimination of waste is not possible, think ideas for combining the wasteful activities. If combination of waste is also not possible, think reduction of the waste. And if that is also not possible, try to think Kaizen ideas to simplify the wasteful operation. Always remember, 10% suggestions or ideas are always better than 1% idea. Once idea has been generated, try to evaluate ideas and implement ideas which are easy to implement and require least or zero investment. Once you do Kaizen, you should keep in mind that its break-even, whatever investment you are doing, its break-even should be recovered within a year. Once idea is implemented in one area, then and success has been established, it should be deployed in other area wherever it has scope for implementation. The last step is document the Kaizen activity for reference and training. It can be used for training new operators. Learning from the past Kaizen can be deployed in future model and products. Thus, it also helps in developing the new model fast. I will share now few questions which can be used to generate Kaizen ideas. For example, can I reduce the strain in the operation? Suppose there is a strain in the operation and we are not able to see it. So this type of question is asked with the operators and they are able to answer it. Can this improvement be applied elsewhere? Is there an alternative way to do it? Whatever I am doing at the current way, is there an alternate way to do it or a better way to do it? Can this be reduced or can this be increased? How can I identify the defect at source? What are the non-value added operations? Can this be done in a faster, cheaper or easier way? Can I reduce the variation? That is called Muda. Now, before going to next topic, that is a scope area for Kaizen, I'll brief about 3M. 3M is a Japanese word which stands for Muri, Muda and Muda. Muri means strain, Muda means inconsistency and imbalance, and Muda means waste. There are 7 types of waste in a business process and operation. These are Muda of overproduction, Muda of stock, Muda of transport, Muda of waiting, Muda of operation, Muda of movement, Muda of inferior quality. Muda means inconsistency or imbalance. As I earlier said, it can be due to variation in the capacity of machines, variation in the quantity. Muda generates Muda of waiting, Muda of stock, and Muda of transport, etc. Muri means strain. It can be on man, machine, and infrastructure. Generally, people in industry works only on Muri on man. Muri on machine and infrastructure is neglected. While we must also look in this category also. Muri leads to generation of fatigue, and so it reduces the productivity of man, efficiency of machine, or life of building or infrastructure, we can say. Muri is one of the reasons for high absenteeism in Indian SMEs. Now let's see what the scope areas for Kaizen activity in a business process. Kaizen should be used to eliminate Muda related to manpower, machine and equipments, means, quality control and materials. It should be used for improvement in safety inside premises where business processes are performed. Now, I'll share few examples related to each category. So these are the area where you can find Muda related to manpower, and you can do Kaizen, eliminate these Muda and Muri and Muda. For example, we can find Kaizen scope in monitoring of machine. Manpower is wasted in monitoring of machine. CNC machine is performing machining operation and operator is waiting. Operator is just monitoring the machine while not adding any value. So here we are wasted of manpower. And next is walking and moving. If layout is not made properly, excess walking and excess moving create Muda of transport, Muda of movement, and it generates Muri. Next is conveyance of material. We can say it is a Muda of transport. In SMEs, many places material movement is done manually, where 2 or 3 persons are taking material by hand and it's transferring, which can be done by one man itself. So here also lots of manpower is wasted in material movement, and we can say material transfer. Searching for items. This is very prevalent in Indian SMEs, where we search for tools at the right time, because we don't keep tools in a proper way. Next is a Muda in excess handling of products and Muda of excess motion. These types of Muda exists in river, and if process is not balanced, strain is more, station is not designed proper. Next is river. River requires extra man hour. So thus extra manpower is required. If there is no river, manpower is not required. So whatever you are paying for river, that is a waste. It is adding the cost of the product. So we can see Kaizen scope in this activity. We can do Kaizen activity to eliminate cause of river. Next is idling of manpower. Manpower can be idle due to unavailability of material, defect, breakdown, etc. So we can think of Kaizen to eliminate cause of idling. For example, elimination of breakdown, elimination of manpower shortage, elimination of material shortage, etc. So now I will share few examples related to manpower. Here in picture you can see before case CNC machine is there where 2 operators are working. Operator is idle when machine is running. In CNC their job is to load, unload and do setup. So nearly 50 to 60% time is idle. So we have to think reverse of the Kaizen. Use ECR technique, eliminate idle time or reduce idle time. So what we are seeing in after picture, both machines face has been put in one side and operator is running two machines simultaneously. Thus, companies save one manpower and thus the cost saving occurs. Another example is for long objects. As you see, two people are required to do the drilling, where one person is doing drilling and another is holding the job. We can think of idea of eliminating excess manpower. So what Kaizen has been done? A roller stand has been provided. Part can be rest on that, and one man who is doing drilling can perform his job. These are the very simple, small improvement. We must remember that Kaizen is an improvement in the status quo, in ongoing effort. Let's see another example. Scrap disposal is done by 2 manpower. Small Kaizen is done. Solution given by operator. Use the hand trolley which we are having. So 1 manpower itself is sufficient to move the scrap. So here Muda of manpower eliminated. Muri is eliminated, and the person who is moving scrap, his time also saved. This is another example. In before picture we see workpiece is on one table and other parts are quite away. Parts are laid out horizontally, making them hard to see and reach. So there is an improvement done, a small improvement done by the operator. Part trolley stand has been inclined and length has been increased. So parts were within reach, it's easy to see, and thus Muri is eliminated, Muda of motion is eliminated. So these are the small Kaizens related to Muda, elimination of Muda of manpower. Another example. These are very common examples in industry, and if you see the Kaizen, these all are common sense. Plastic sheets were kept on the rack behind the operators. Operator has to turn every time when he need a plastic sheet, and turning motion required 4 or 5 seconds, extra effort also. Now small improvement is done. Plastic sheet has been hanged in front of the operator. Operator does not have to turn around. His efficiency has increased and he will be happy because there will be no Muda. Now if you see Muda related to machine and equipment, it can be due to space and transportation. Equipment, efficiency of machine. You can find Kaizen to avoid leakage of oil, coolant, lubricants. You can generate ideas to eliminate minor stoppages. You can generate ideas to eliminate daily cleaning, provide protective covers. You can generate Kaizen to eliminate, combine, reduce or simplify leakage of air and energies can be avoided. Lights on. This is a very common. When we go home and we come out of house or room, we switch off lights. But in industry, in office, when we come out, we don't switch off lights. One reason is either switch is not accessible or we don't know switch. So this is also a scope for Kaizen, where we can provide switches on table, string type of switches, so that not whole light will on, person is not on work table or not on his workplace, he can switch off the lights. This is one example. Breakdown was high on a rolling machine due to the wrong loading method. It was a skill dependent operation, and if loading was not done properly, it was breaking, and thus machine has to stop to repair it. Small improvement has been done. A support is provided which will ensure proper loading, and thus breakdown reduces. Small Kaizen increases the availability of machine, thus increases the production rate and machine efficiency. Another scope area is Muda, related to means. It can be due to bottleneck process. If methods are not properly designed, inventory will generate in between the process, which call it WIP. Man may be idle or machine may be idle. Setup of machine can take time, adjustment can take time, and extra wrapping or unwrapping is required. So these are the areas we can see in method where we can find ideas for Kaizen. These are one very simple example. If you have to weigh some weight, what you will do? You will take that material near the weighing machine, lift the weight, put on weighing machine and measure the weight. If it is heavy, you may need extra manpower and you will have Muri. So some operator has suggested, please dig a pit, put the weighing machine down. So you don't need extra manpower to lift the object. And as you see in the picture, you can slide the object and weigh the object. Another example, as I said, searching, time waste. If you see in before picture, to find a tool, it may require 30 seconds or maybe 30 minutes. But in the right side, when shadow board has been created, you can find the object within 10 seconds. And if object is missing, by seeing the picture, you can know what object is missing. Another Kaizen to eliminate Muda in method. In first picture, operator was arranging tool for next setup and he had stopped the machine. So operator has a scope for Kaizen to avoid machine stoppage. He has prepared the tool arrangement while machine is running. So this type of Kaizen ideas can be generated where there is no investment required. Thus required the common sense and the proper planning. One more example. In a threading operation, long handle was there. It was not clear how much to be thread. So when inserting the pin, thread was getting damaged. Operator has suggested some idea to avoid the thread damage. he has provided the positioning check on the fixture. Very small investment but very effective. This is another example. We all use car. When we have to check gearbox oil or engine oil, what we do? We lose the check nut, take the dipstick out, clean it with clothes, again put it, again take it out and say what is the level. So this activity require at least 5 to 10 minutes if you have everything. If you don't have, it may require more than 20 or 30 minutes. If you see the after picture, small improvement has been done. A tube has been attached. It has been marked green, yellow and red. So by inspection only, one can judge where the level is, and especially for operators, this type of guidance are good where they have not to read value. They have to take just judgment. Red means it is a danger zone, you have to fill, it's critical. Yellow means it's a reorder point. Green means it is okay. Now Muda related to quality control. Scope of Kaizen ideas are there in quality control too. You can do Kaizen for reducing the rework, eliminating the defect, doing the foolproofing, fixing the standards, reducing the defect caused by conveyance. The more you handle the product, the more the chances are of generating defects such as dent, scratch, all type of appearance defect. Reducing the time for inspection, that is also one scope of area for Kaizen. One example is there. If you have to measure the diameter, you are using micrometer. It requires 30 seconds per piece if scale inspector is there. So somebody suggested if we are producing 1000, 2000 components, why to use micrometer? It's a time taking activity, it is generating Muri and productivity is very low. So a gauge and jig has been designed where you can just keep the part and check whether it's okay or not okay. A no-go gauge. So inspection time reduces. I'm just sharing some examples. Now Muda related to material and parts. So these are few examples mentioned. Clamping with bolts can be reduced. Number of parts can be reduced if you combine, and to find out another way to create deburring operation. This is also a scope of Kaizen. Heavy weight material and parts transport and yield. Use of expensive material, you can find out alternatives, and then reducing the scrap. One example is there is a product was thrust washer. To create thrust washer, 86 mm bar were used. First parting was done, then drilling, then CNC turning, case hardening and the hard turning. Production rate was 20 per piece. So ideas have been generated. Flat piece is used and different method is used: punching, normalize, CNC turning, case hardening, hard turning. So punching time has reduced and one piece can be made in 30 seconds. Thus productivity has increased quite. One more example is there where you can save the material. 50 mm bar is used to create a product. different operation was there: parting, rough turning, CNC short turning, heat treatment, hard turning. Cost was per piece 14 rupees. So company had discussed with supplier and vendor who were supplying the part, raw material. Now they have taken the raw material of different size, and thus operation has reduced. Now because operation has reduced, material weight has reduced, so scrap has also come down and the piece price also have come down. Now another area is improvement in safety. You can find scope area for Kaizen where there is a danger at rotating parts. You can create protection. Danger of being caught in moving machine, provide some type of protection so you should not get caught. Danger of being cut, danger of fall. If you are working at top, you should have railing. Danger of falling objects, danger of collision. There should be a stopper and sensor, so there should be no collision. Danger related to handling, hard object handling, you should have provision to handle it. Danger of electric shock, you should have rubber sheet near electrical panels. Danger of accident by toxic substance, danger of explosion, danger of high temperature, danger related to work done by inexperienced person. These are the area where you can find ideas for Kaizen. For example, I'll share one Kaizen example. When you are doing grinding, spark is spreading to a far distance. It is unsafe. So what we have done, we have provided a protection to control spark. So very simple but very effective. Now next is how to bring Kaizen culture. Many companies struggle in this. Kaizen activity started, but it does not sustain. The utmost reason is low involvement of shop floor people. And second most is Kaizen activities is done by supervisors and engineers. What these supervisor and engineers do? They do Kaizen activity in design changes, manpower reduction, material yield improvement, etc. So they create or do Kaizen in their work area, which most of the time does not provide direct benefits to operator in performing work. Thus, Kaizen activities gradually disappear in a year or so. Let's see how we can bring sustained Kaizen culture in an organization. There are 3 steps we should do to bring Kaizen culture. First step is encouragement. Next step is training and education. Third step is quality of Kaizen. So first step is encouragement. We should know how to encourage employees to involve in Kaizen activities. Few ideas are mentioned below. You can read it. Promote Kaizen activity among all associates. Do campaign among all associates to do Kaizen activity. Please be involved in Kaizen. Use posters, newsletters, notices to promote Kaizen activities. have some suggestion scheme, encourage employees to begin participation in Kaizen activities, give awareness training to all, what is Kaizen, what could be the benefit for the operator as well as for the organization. In initial stage, whatever benefit is coming through Kaizen, it should be distributed to promote the very purpose of Kaizen activity. In initial stage, you should overlook of the Kaizen to encourage participation. First, you should not focus on high quality of Kaizen. Kaizen can be a very small suggestion. Next step is training and education. Once employee involvement has reached to a satisfactory level, generally it may take 3 to 4 months or 2 to 3 years. So after involvement has reached to a satisfactory level, you are satisfied with the involvement of the operators and employees, give focused training to employees to understand what is Kaizen and what is not Kaizen. Train team leaders for understanding of Kaizen in organization vision and mission context. Now you have to do Kaizen which is related to your organization mission or vision or mission. It could be related to the theme of the year, and you have to follow thoroughly in order to achieve desired business objective. Teach team leaders about necessity of impartial evaluation. Form a strategy for improving participation. So team leaders should evaluate Kaizen very impartially. If you do partiality, employees will stop giving Kaizen in future. Next step is quality of Kaizen. If basic understanding of Kaizen has been spread in the whole organization with optimum level, that you come to know that yes, understanding has been developed in this industry and participation is increasing, give emphasis on quality of Kaizen. Now do thorough study in quality of change, standardization of change, long-term implication, widespread application, alignment with the organization objectives and long-term planning objectives, etc. before the Kaizen implementation. So you have to do thorough analysis before you are implementing Kaizen. And to promote further, you can form an independent department, an independent team to carry out Kaizen evaluation and implementation. Now, as I said, you should know what is Kaizen, what is not Kaizen. So these are the few examples. Suggestion, idea under implementation, it is not Kaizen. Remember, Kaizen means implemented suggestion. If suggestion is not implemented, it is not Kaizen. Idea and suggestion copied from the previous Kaizen is not a Kaizen. If somebody is giving ideas about relaxing company policy, regulation, etc., it is also not a Kaizen. Correction of own mistake is also not a Kaizen. If coolant is leaking due to the repair mistake, correction of that is not a Kaizen. Ideas of obvious or regular maintenance activity is not a Kaizen. Activity which you are doing on a regular basis, like fibers, where you do red tagging, where you doing shadow board, is not a Kaizen. You have created shadow board, you are not using, again you start using, so this is not a Kaizen. Changes in recommended process by the equipment manufacturer where you are violating agreement norms, this is also not a Kaizen. You should take manufacturers in confidence. Ideas related to bargaining argument, supplier selection, price negotiation, also not Kaizen. And changes which may involve legal interpretation is also not Kaizen. And the last, any negative idea for company is not a Kaizen. Don't consider it as a Kaizen. Now, what not to do? Like I said, I'll put some light on what to do and what not to do. So first is what not to do. Leaders and managers must avoid these mental blocks. Once somebody is going with some idea to you and you don't say, we are too busy to study now, we'll talk later, and you keep on pending the activity. You don't say it's good idea but timing seems not right. These are very common things used by leaders and managers. So these things should be avoided. It is not, I'm just reading it. It is not in this year budget, we don't have money. Theory is different from practice, I have learned this way. This is a very common thing. Is there something else we can do? Operator has gone to suggest something and you are saying him that you are mad. Our system is fine. Another is I have tried earlier. It will surely fail and waste time. So don't do it. It could be possible that time you tried, you have not tried all the options. Now, once somebody has suggested, let him try. You are saying, teaching me, I am your boss. You must remember that in your organization, employees are not coming with 2 hands, 2 legs. They are coming with 1 brain. So you should utilize that brain. Generally, it is called 8 waste. I have told earlier there are 7 waste. We have 1 more waste, that is the waste of brain. If you are not utilizing your operator's mind, do your job, let's be implemented by Mr. X. I am suggesting you are letting some other to implement it. Don't say it's not our business, let someone think and plan about it. We are not affected so much from this. We have given a suggestion which in another person's area, so you are not supporting the operator. It's not Kaizen, it's common sense, anybody can do it. The very important thing is common sense is very uncommon. I know the result even we don't do it. So why you have not done it? So this sort of thing should not be done. I will not be held accountable. It's your idea and it's your baby. If it's success, it's your success. If it's fail, your failure. I will not take the responsibility for this implementation. Can you think of better idea? Don't tell to anybody XYZ department will feel heat, then we will suggest to charts our number higher than them. You got a Kaizen, some department is in problem, you got an idea, but you are not telling, you are just waiting to problem become more severe. The last is, don't worry, be merry and don't bother me. So leaders and managers should avoid these types of pitfalls. Now let's come, what to do? You should question conventional fixed ideas with the fresh one. Start questioning the current practices and standard. Why it is done so? Why it cannot be done another way? Seek advice of many associates before startup. Once you are starting to implement Kaizen, have advice of others. Always remember 10% ideas and suggestions are better than 1% idea. Think of how to do it, not why it cannot be done. When you are suggesting something, your mind start thinking why it cannot be done. So it should not be done. If you have thought of some, if you have think of some idea, try to think how to do it. Don't make excuses. Make execution happen. You have not to seek perfection in the first go. If you got an idea, you are thinking no more I have to think. Don't do that. If you have got some small idea, please implement it. Even your target is 50%. If you make a mistake, correct it that time. Last but not the least is, in Kaizen, don't focus on spending money. Focus on your wisdom. In many organizations, when Kaizen activity started, employees had given solution for racks, for trolleys, for tools, for etc., etc. Don't do that. Tell them clearly, use your mind to utilize current resources. As I said in the beginning, I will share some good example in daily life also, how Kaizen can be useful in our life. Mosquito coil which burns for 6 hours average, if you spray water on this and use it, it burns for 9 hours. So it reduces your mosquito coil consumption and thus the cost. It's very simple and common sense. You spray water on anything, it will fume more. Left side you see, most of the homes when you brought fruits, you wash it in a pot, you fill the water spills all around, you take the fruits out, especially grapes, then you wash the spillage, you throw the water. You can use such type of tool which requires less water and is very effective. Another example is stand for mobile chargers. When we do charge our mobiles, wire is always long. Sometimes it get entangled and get damaged. Sometimes when we move, mobile fall on floor. So we can use small Kaizen. It's very simple. Another is everybody use mobile cover to keep cell phone protected. But when somebody rings, you start juggling with the phone, how to take it out. Small strip is added. It's a very simple Kaizen. When you pull it, cell will come out. So weight generation is used in this creating such type of Kaizens. So these are the daily Kaizen example in daily life.